Hello, everybody out there watching on YouTube, and welcome to race number 31 slash chase race number 5 of Season 9 NNSCRA Walmart Cup Series competition. I'm Levi McIntyre, a.k.a. Thrash Maniac 99, the voice of NNSCRA Walmart Cup Series, here to welcome you to the Drive to End Hunger 300 here at Yas Marina Circuit, the first time ever we have raced on this road course, or that we're going to race on this road course, and depending on how this is going to go, this might be a staple to the Walmart Cup Series schedule for seasons to come. Now, before we take a look at the lineup, let's look at how the chase points look coming into the race tonight. Dylan Young leads the points by 20 points over Dorian Facepuncher, 38 over Carson Gum, 44 over PJ Williams, 46 over DJ Curtis, 53 over David Rivera, 55 over Pichu London, 65 over Jesse Setti, 67 over Trent Dunham, 73 over Tanner Sullivan, 76 over Katie Cochran, 77 over John Cittadino, and 100 over Johnny Gardner. With that said, let's look at the lineup. Starting in the last row will be Anthony McCrory and Devin Becker. Up in the top 10, Cody Lamas is on the pole for tonight. Starting next to him is PJ Williams. Row 2 will be Tanner Sullivan and Dylan Thoreau. Row 3 will be Charles Sanford and Joshua Collard. Row 4, Chase Oliver and Dougie Shears. And then row 5 will be Henry Sanford and Sky Commons. With that said, let's go ahead and get the command to fire engines for the Drive to End Hunger 300 at Yas Marina Circuit.
Drivers, start your engines!
So now the cars are rolling for their quarter pace lap. And as usual with road courses, no cautions. So if you wreck, you're pretty much out of luck. But let's see how this racetrack is going to be to these drivers. This is a near 3.5 mile road course. So we're going to see how this race is going to turn out. As we are awaiting to get to the start-finish line. Looks like that could be it right there. We'll see. Or I guess not, never mind. I duped. And that right there must be the entrance to pit road. Right around there. This might be where we go. Here we go. Boogity, boogity, boogity! Let's go racing! Cody Lamas led the first lap and managed to pull away to a massive lead of 2 3/4 of a second over PJ Williams, who is right now the highest running of the chasers. And so far from what I can tell, it is your typical road course affair. It seems like the pole sitter will get off to a big lead early on. But I see some good racing going on. Like, they're going 4 wide at one point. Like, right there in the first corner on lap 1, Joshua Collard made it 4 wide and managed to get up to 3rd as a result. So you could see a lot of risk, and this track is rather roomy. There's plenty of room to do stuff like that as long as you can make it stick. You're pretty much in good hands in that regard. But right now, Cody Lamas, the dominant car right now as far as field position. He's up at the front and with a massive lead over Williams right now. Closest battle I see going on, well, it's mostly single file for the time being. Although, wait a minute, I do see... Let me go to his onboard, Anthony McCurry. He does have a little buckle on his hood. He might have ran into the back of someone. And that might have been him, James Quall, so there could have been a little stack up right there between McCurry and Qualls, although that might be a glitch because of the Chevys getting rear end damage looking glitches. But I don't know who he could have ran into the back of or into the side of to get that damage. But it's not really affecting him too much. After all, road courses aren't always about speed. It's all about precision. As Cody Lamas leads lap number 2, and the margin of the lead has actually shrunk quite a good bit. PJ Williams actually gaining on the 48 of Lamas. He actually had nearly a whole 1 second faster of a lap time over Cody Lamas. And in fact, Williams has the fastest lap of the whole field of a 2 minutes, 13 seconds, .732. Lamas with the second fastest, but by 1 second slower. So we might see a battle for the lead before this race is over because of the distance, the gap that's shrunk between the top two. And PJ Williams is a chaser, and he's trying to go for his first win in the chase and 4th win this season. Because after all, like I've said, PJ Williams is arguably the greatest driver in the history of Walmart Cup Series to have not won a championship. And he has come close at least 4, maybe 5 times. Season 3, he was in the Final 4 for the championship. Season 5, I want to say, he was pretty close. Season 6, he was in the mix. Season 7 and Season 8 was definitely really close. And this season, he's in the chase once again, and he's definitely looking for some redemption. Hard to tell if the lead has shrunk or spread out at this point. It might have shrunk just a little bit, because Williams is actually, yeah, I think it might have shrunken just a tad bit. Not by a big margin like we saw in the lap previous. Looking around, and everybody's racing each other rather clean. So, yeah, this might be a track we're going to stay with for the rest of the Walmart Cup Series history. So now we're going to see how big of a lead Lamas has this time over Williams. Last time it was under 2 seconds. Actually, Lamas gained a little bit, gained a half a tenth off of Williams, and actually ran the fastest lap of anybody in the race. But it's still a long way to go for Williams to try to make something work. And And actually, it looked like he gained a little bit right there, entering that apex. But now it's starting to spread out a little bit. Looking around, battle for 41st with Anthony McCurry and Dorian Facepuncher. Not a good points day for Dorian Facepuncher, who's second in the standings. Whoa, and Facepuncher actually just went sideways. But he saved it, but that's going to cost him a lot of time. I think he overdrove that corner and went sideways, but he somehow managed to save the car, which was really interesting how he did it. Just barely went sideways and managed to keep it going. Back up here at the front, Llama's still leading the way. But Williams, however, it definitely looks like he's gained quite a good bit on the 48. I think he might have cut that lead in more than half, potentially. Maybe, or less than half. We'll see when we get to the line. But you can tell the 27 has gained on the 48 now, right there. But now it might have just spread out again. We'll see as we're coming to the start-finish line. The margin now, last time by was 1.9. This time, 1.89. So only 1/100th of a second. But Williams is not giving up as it's now 5 laps to go here at Yas Marina Circuit for the drive to end Hunger 300. Looking around, see what's going on. Couple chasers battling in the back. Trent Dunham and Katie Cochran as they are coming to the line. And let's actually take a look and see where the chasers currently were scored. PJ Williams was last scored in second. Trent Dunham, 36th. Dylan Young, 12th. David Rivera, 32nd. Katie Cochran, 37th. Pichu London, 34th. Tanner Sullivan, 11th. DJ Curtis, 19th. Jesse Setti, 13th. Carson Gum, 33rd. Dorian Facepuncher, dead last. John Cittadino, 40th. And Johnny Gardner, 20th. So right now, the highest chaser is PJ Williams, with the second highest being Tanner Sullivan in 11th. Now it looks like the lead might have spread out a little bit right there between the top two. So once we get to the line here, or actually we'll go ahead and start the full field rundown since it's mostly single file at this point. Cody Lamas is your leader. Second is PJ Williams. Third is Joshua Collard. Fourth is Dylan Thoreau. Solid run for him. Fifth is Henry Sanford. Sixth is Dougie Shears. Seventh, Austin Mongold. Eighth, Chase Oliver. Ninth, Sky Commons. 10th, Charles Sanford. 11th, Tanner Sullivan. 12th, Dylan Young. 13th, Jesse Setti. 14th, William Duncan. 15th, Tim Walsh. 16th, Sean Galligan. 17th, James McLeod. 18th, Caleb Farrell. 19th, DJ Curtis. 20th is William Brock. 21st, Alan Cavagnaro. 22nd, Johnny Gardner. 23rd, Chris Washer. 24th is Michael Norman. 25th, Zach Rogers. 26th is Seth Cole. 27th, John Art. 28th, Preston Plord. 29th, Marco Martinez. 30th, David Rivera. 31st, Matt McIntyre. 32nd, Jessica Shelton. 33rd is Carson Gum. 34th, Pichu London. 35th, Katie Cochran. 36th, Zach Flickinger. 37th, James Qualls. 38th, Trent Dunham. 39th is now John Cittadino. 40th, Devin Becker. 41st, Anthony McCurry. And then 42nd is Dorian Facepuncher. Last time by, Lamas pulled away a little bit over Williams as far as the distance between the top two goes. And actually, it kind of looked like Lamas was actually we saw a bit of a double shot there of Lamas and Facepuncher kind of in vicinity of each other. But when we come to the stripe here, it will be 3 laps to go here in the Drive to End Hunger 300. And Facepuncher has somehow managed to catch Anthony McCurry again. Margin last time by pulled away by 7 hundredths of a second, nearly a whole tenth. As it's 3 laps to go here in the Drive to End Hunger 300. Let's see if we can find any battles going on right now. So far, they're not seeing any. Though we could have one right here with Tim Walsh and James McLeod. Right here's a battle between 2 chasers battling for the 33rd spot. Carson Gum and Pichu London. So meanwhile, back up at the front, it is still all Cody Lamas. And DJ Curtis actually ran a faster lap time out of anybody so far in this race. Let's see when it was. It was actually the most recent lap he was able to pull it off. As it is still 3 to go between Lamas and Williams. This has been pretty much the story of the race, has been how every now and then PJ Williams can gain a little bit on the 48 of Cody Lamas, but then there'd be times where Lamas would pull away from Williams. And we've surprisingly have had no real major accidents happen in this race, as now it's going to be 2 laps to go. The margin, I can definitely tell, is pulled away quite a bit. Now it's 2.37 seconds between Lamas and Williams, with 2 to go here at Yas Marina Circuit. As a lot of these cars are still trying to get to the line to get their scoring in. Let's look around and see if there's any battles going on right now. So far, it's mostly single file. And it is single file pretty much throughout the whole field. But after this race, it'd be the end of the first half of the chase. Next week, we head back to Bristol for the Sharpie 500, and that'll be exciting when we get there. In fact, if I can think of what the rest of the chase schedule is supposed to be, you're going to see a bit of a pause. We got Bristol, Sonoma, Talladega, Kansas, and Armory Digital left for the season. So that's going to be quite interesting. And Cody Lamas, this is only his 5th start this season, and he's doing whatever he has to keep that 48 in the top 30 in points as a whole, so that way Cody can make the first 5 races of season 10. As we're getting ready to come to take the white flag here at Yas Marina Circuit. And now, white flag is out. Margin of the lead now, 2.63 seconds, almost back to how the lead was on the first lap, as the white flag is displayed for Cody Lamas. See if there's any battles going on right now, as they are on the final lap. Pretty much still single file throughout. Right now, where they were last scored as far as chasers, P.J. Williams was 2nd, Dylan Young 11th, Tanner Sullivan 12th, Jesse Setti 13th, DJ Curtis 19th, Johnny Gardner 21st, David Rivera 29th, Carson Gum 33rd, Pichu London 34th, Katie Cochran 36th, Trent Dunham 38th, John Cittadino 39th, Dorian Facepuncher dead last. That's how they were scored as far as chasers go on the last lap. As Lamas is trying to do all he can to make sure he don't make a massive mistake and cost himself the win, because we have seen stuff like this happen before on road courses where drivers would make big time mistakes and it would cost them either a valuable position or the top spot. It all just depends on what's going down at the moment. As we're getting ready to come off of the final corner to take the checkered flag. Domination here at Yas Marina Circuit. Cody Lamas wins the Drive to End Hunger 300 at Yas Marina Circuit by an astounding near 3 seconds. What a job for Cody Lamas, and only his 5th start this season. Gets his first win in quite a while. Great run for the 48 team. And that's the 2nd time this season that car has been the victory lane. But let's look at the rest of the results. P.J. Williams, great run in 2nd. That's definitely going to help him out as far as points goes in the chase. Joshua Collard, solid performance in the 3rd position. Dougie Shears with a great run in 4th. And Dylan Thoreau with a solid top 5 run. Henry Sanford, 2nd week in a row, gets a 6th place finish. Austin Mongold with a solid 7th. Sky Commons with a great run in 8th. Chase Oliver with a solid 9th. And Charles Sanford with a great run in 10th. Rest of the top 20, Tanner Sullivan, Dylan Young, Jesse Setti, William Duncan, Sean Galligan, James McLeod, Caleb Farrell, Tim Walsh, DJ Curtis, and Johnny Gardner. Rest of the top 30 was William Brock, Chris Washer, Michael Norman, Alan Cavagnaro, Seth Cole, Zach Rogers, John Art, Preston Plord, David Rivera, Marco Martinez. Rest of the top 40, Jessica Sheldon, Matt McIntyre, Pichu London, Carson Gum, Zach Flickinger, Katie Cochran, James Qualls, Trent Dunham, John Cittadino, Anthony McCrory, and then the final 2 cars, Devin Becker and Dorian Facepuncher. Well, that does it for our coverage tonight here at Yas Marina Circuit for this event. This was quite interesting. Next week we head to Bristol for the Sharpie 500, but until then, here are your results, rookie points and regular points heading into Bristol. And this is Levi McIntyre signing off.